Hi there, I'm Saramy, and today I am doing my first hashtag reviews, which is a little different than pattern reviews, and I'll get to that as well because we're going to draw our first 3 patterns. I have about 140 different patterns in here, and we're going to pick those at the end so you can find out which my first 3 pattern reviews are going to be. I don't know yet either. And now we're going to start these hashtag reviews. So I got about 9 hashtags that you sent me. And this is as if I were going to cut and sew this or buy this pattern. These are the things that I would look at while looking at the hashtags. So if you don't have Instagram, this is kind of what the hashtags are really great for. And you can, kind of look at them and see how they look on a lot of different types of bodies and people and in different fabrics. And I think that sometimes you can see similarities and fit issues between them, and sometimes there's none and it's really hard to tell, but at least it gives you kind of a starting point. So let's get right to it. If you're new here, please think about commenting on the video at the end. I really love hearing your opinion. Subscribing if you want to see more. I do kind of unique sewing content, plus I live stream. And liking the video so other people find it as well. That's always really helpful. And if you haven't seen my pattern expectations video, I highly recommend it. It's linked above and you can check it out. Just click on that little exclamation point and then it'll tell you more about the video and if you want to watch it. But it is a really good precursor to what I am thinking about for pattern reviews. All right, let's get to it. All right, so you should be able to see my computer here. This is Instagram, and we're going to go in the search bar. So what I did was I typed each one in there so it'd be ready so I wouldn't have to type while I was doing the video. And we're just gonna go down the list. We're gonna start from the bottom. So right here we have the PaddingtonTop. Cherie gave this one to me. She gave me 2 hashtags to check out. Full disclosure, I have made this top. It is a free pattern by Peppermint magazine, and it's really awesome. My video got a ton of views, so I know a lot of people are making it. So that says a lot about the pattern, and the fact that it's free is really nice. You don't even have to subscribe to their magazine. It's an online magazine. But you can leave a donation or pick it up for free, and I highly recommend it. It's a pretty good pattern, especially for free. So it has a button back, which I didn't sew on mine. You can see it right here on this yellow one here. There's not a lot of back views on the first images of these Instagram. If you're new to Instagram, when you see a little symbol like this, that means she's got multiple pictures, so we can kind of scroll through and see. She has 2 front shots. When I don't see back shots, I always get a little nervous, not on a top like this, but it is something to note because back views are just as important as front views sometimes, especially for me. My fit issue is at the small of my back always. Okay, so the gist of this top is it has a facing around the neckline, a button back, and then it has this really full sleeve. But if you're really nervous about sewing a full sleeve, the fullness is only at the bottom. And that is pretty clever when it comes to this because, when you do it in a really drapey fabric like this, it's not puffy. If you do it something stiffer, like look at this one, it's a little puffier. I mean, even this one has a lot of fullness. This one too. And, if you leave the elastic out, you get this little like swingy flutter sleeve here. Let's see if anyone else. Oh, here's another one. This one looks pretty big for her. The sizing is pretty good. It's a shorter top. It is for me at least, and sometimes I feel like I need to wear a camisole under it. This is about how mine looks on me. It's shorter. Maybe we'll run across mine here. The contrast option, because it's a raglan, is pretty fun. Here's another one without the elastic. And this one, you can see this one's a crisper fabric, so you're going to get a puffier looking sleeve. Drapier is going to be more relaxed and less puffy. And one of the things I will note about this is if you're someone who it'll bug having the elastic around your forearm or your elbow or something, what I recommend is making sure that it's not going to bug you. Make the elastic loose enough. I made it so that my sleeve is going to be relaxed and the bottom of it's going to sit below my elbow, and I really like that because it's not a big puffy sleeve. But you can see like on this green one here, she has it pushed up onto her bicep a little bit, or maybe she has the elastic tighter so it sits above her elbow, and it's going to do that puffier look. One of my viewers made this and cut it on the bias, and it instantly made me want to sew it again because I love the way it looked. It looked like a completely different top. It had a little bit more fit to it. It was swingier looking. It even looked longer on the bias, and I think that was just an optical illusion because it was a little more slimming and less boxy. And you can tell, like, this one right here is a really good indication of how there's no fitting in this top. It's a very straight cut silhouette. So you might want some fitting. I don't find I need any, and I'm pretty busty, and it doesn't bug me. I actually kind of like it. It sits more like this on me, kind of sits straight out. But you can see, you know, there is some fullness straight at the bottom because it's going to hang straight down off of the bust. Whereas if you're not very full busted, it's going to be more of a straighter cut. But cutting it on the bias is going to make a big difference in how it fits. The sewing the cuff to is a little bit, it's probably the trickiest part, getting all that fabric volume in the elastic. But I really like this top. You know, I'm giving you more than what I would normally do for a hashtag review because I've actually made this one. But you know, what I like about this is this top looks really different in all these different fabrics. Look at this one made out of a see-through fabric. That looks like a totally different top, and that's pretty cool. Doing it in the contrast makes it look different. I didn't put buttons on the back of mine, and I can pull it over the head really easily. No problem at all. So that's something to think about too. I'm not a big fan of buttons on the back, but they are really cute. So we could probably, you know, look in here and look and see. Hers has buttons as well. So that's pretty cool. But I think the fabric that you choose for this is going to make the biggest impact on this top, because if you're going to pick something drapey like a rayon or a lightweight linen with a lot of drape, or maybe a tencel rayon, or like a cotton rayon, something like that is going to give you a lot more drape. You could probably even cut this out of a knit. However, I don't recommend it because doing that really full sleeve on the elastic, I think it could go one of two ways. So I'd be really careful because the knits tend to be pretty thick, and that bulk around the elastic may be a problem. So, all right, let's get to our next one. All right, so the next one is the RemyRaglan. The person gave me the RemyTop hashtag, which wasn't the correct one. It's the RemyRaglan. This is also from Cherie. Full disclosure, I have purchased this pattern. I just got it at one of the Thanksgiving sales, and I haven't sewn it yet, so I don't really have any feedback on that front. Maybe it'll come up in a pattern review. This top, what made me buy it, let's see if I can find one that has the details I really like. I really like the little slit at the neck. I like that the front is in, there's a center front seam, and you can do the top stitching with the linen. It just is a very simple top, but it still has a little bit of a classiness to it, which I really liked. It looked very simple to sew, which is always really appealing for the stream. And it's a raglan as well, so I find that if it's not a set-in sleeve, which I'm the biggest fan of, if it's a raglan, that is a close second for me, because at least the top's not going to shift and you know, push against my front of my neck. It's not going to fall to the back of me. The raglan has a little bit more structure for that, so I like that. But you can see, like, there isn't any fitting in this as well. It doesn't look like there's any darts. So the way it fits you is going to be very dependent upon your fit issues. Things like this that are really straight cut with no shaping, like the Paddington was, this may bring up your fit issues. Like for me, the small of my back is a big issue, and the fact that I'm pretty busty and I have a really narrow rib cage. My shoulders are kind of straight and broad, so those are the things that I would be looking at here. Those aren't probably going to be a big issue for me, except for that pooling of fabric I get at the small of my back. I'll probably have to make an adjustment for this top. But, you know, like she made hers button front. I think there's a long sleeve option, and to me it looks like the long sleeve option has some gathers, because I'm seeing a lot of sleeves like this. There's another one. Really cute and simple. Again, this top looks really different no matter who's wearing it and what fabric it's made in. Look at, she frayed the edge, really cute. So I think that there's a lot of options with this. This one's on the bias. I think that would be a really great call for me as far as what my fit issues give me. So, oh, I love that green. All right, let's go to our next one. Okay, the FMNIris. That is a pattern company I haven't sewn anything from. I think it's Forget Me Not Patterns. And this I have seen this though. Just because when I saw the sleeve, I was like, oh, I have seen this before. That might even be the pattern piece, which is pretty cool. So this sleeve is really what makes this pattern have the, you know, the detail it has. So it's looks like a close fitting t-shirt. Maybe she took the sleeve and put it on something else here. Because I'm pretty sure this is basically it. It's just a crew neck, not a scoop neck, but a crew neck t-shirt with the pleat style on the sleeve. So if you do it in a really busy fabric, the pleats might get lost. Just know that. So, you know, then people won't notice the cool detail of your top. Looks really cute in this polka dot though, and this stripe, you know, it shows up. And this busy floral works pretty good. I think there is a long sleeve version. I don't see the detail. I think the thing to be concerned here is that this tee looks very close fitting. Like most people, it's fitting like this. It's pretty close. And if you are busty, you might not want the crew neck. You might want something a little lower, you know, like a scoop or a V-neck. If you have a full bicep, this has a band. You see right there, a band right there. Let's see if someone. Oh, see, she has the contrast. So you can really see that there's a band right here at the bottom. Her arms are very small. A lot of these gals, their arms are pretty small. So that's the one thing I would be careful of, because you don't really want this top to ride up your arm. That would be kind of uncomfortable because the detail is really cute. On her, it almost looks like a puff sleeve. But yeah, like it's a pretty simple, if that's it, that looks like a pretty generic t-shirt. But that could be it. Like from the front, it doesn't have a whole lot of pizzazz, but from the side, but look how cute that is. Again, a lot of these folks are pretty small. So I would want to see this on some curvier gals to see it. Maybe it doesn't come in a lot of sizes. I don't know. Oh, I know this is fair trade. That looks really cute on her. This would be kind of cute if you did a band along the bottom in self fabric, kind of like a sweatshirt. What if it even had a tie on it, on the side? I think that'd be really cute. It's asymmetrical too, so the pleats are only on the front side of the sleeve, not the back. Maybe you could make it both ways and it would have more of a puffy effect. All right, let's get to our next one. Let's see here. The PietraPants. Who are these by? Let's see. Dr. Snowflake from Instagram. She submitted these. I think these are Closet Core. Closet Core patterns? Yes, Closet Core patterns, formerly known as Closet Case. Okay, I have not sewn these, and I think this is a really popular pant in my chat. I think a few people have made this. It's kind of a go-to. It looks very straight cut from what I'm seeing here. This looks very cropped. This looks really different than what I picture it. Like I picture it more like this, tapered, more of like, not cigarette leg like they used to say, but like kind of that slimmer, narrow ankle. No one really has it above, like below the ankle as well. This is a fuller hem here. Is this the same pair as this? No, it's not. Okay. So I think that there's some shaping here at the waist. So it looks like the front is flat, but what is the back? Is this a zipper pull on? Let's see. Maybe we should be looking at, let's see if we can see some back views. Wow, it's a nice view. Look at the color blocking here. This really shows the details of the pant so you can see what's happening here. Okay, so it's elastic back with a flat front. So I think if you have a pretty narrow waist, like a pretty big difference between your hip and your waist, you may have to do some fitting, but it'd be really cute. And this looks like, I mean, look at how different this pair looks than linen, and this pair looks, whoa. This pair looks right here kind of slim fit. You can really make these look different from pair to pair depending on what cut you do and what fabric you do. I feel like I've seen these, and I've seen ones with pockets that overlap, but maybe that was just someone did it with a hack, or maybe it's a different pair of pants. So it's very simple that way. That one looks like a is this the front? Oh, this is the back. I see. So it's a little tutorial. So yeah, so it's got the back gathers. Very cute pair of pants. There's Elena from chat. I recognize her. All right. Yeah, so, and these pockets look like they can be up high or down low. I've seen some that like are on the hip bone, like hers right there, or a little lower. They're cute. It says intermediate right there. I'd probably consider that almost intermediate because of that back elastic. Just because it only has half the amount of elastic does not mean it has half the amount of difficulty. Sometimes when you only do half, it's a little more difficult because you got to do some tricky finishing. But then again, if you don't want kind of a bulky pant, but you want the ease and comfort of a pull-on style, it's so awesome when the elastic is only in the back because it's a little bit more comfortable. What if you're wearing a shirt that is more tailored and smooth? You don't really want the front of your pants to be too bulky, especially with a lot of gathers, so the shirt can be a little bit more tailored and smooth against you. It's a little bit more like the pant's not going to be as bulky as well, which is kind of nice. So you know, if you have a full thigh, you might find that's the full thigh across the front. You may have to make sure that it's fitting you correctly. All right, let's see what's next. The BisqueTrousers. What are these? The BisqueTrousers. Let's see. This one, these were submitted by H. Dot, who is also, I'm pretty sure her name's Hannah. She's in the chat as well. Okay, so this is another pull-on pant. We like our comfy pants right now, don't we? Are these all the same pant? Because they look completely different. This looks like the same, and this, and this. Okay, so there's a little pleat or tuck right there at the front waist. These look a little, like, I don't want to say sloppier, but they are a little bit more casual. The elastic's in the front, so that's probably part of it. I'm not a big fan of pleats in the front because I feel like that accentuates my belly, which is something I'm trying not to accentuate lately. Like that looks like a completely different pant. So it's kind of hard to see some of the details here. That rise looks kind of low there. But, you know, like these just look like very simple, honestly, just very simple pull-on pants. They don't look like there's any particular like distinguishing style except for that front pleat. So if you want just like a very basic pull-on style pant that isn't huge and bulky, this might be a good choice. I think I've only made a couple of pull-on pants that are made from patterns in the home sewing world, and they are pretty much the free range slacks by Sew House 7. Sew House 7 is my go-to pull-on pant. Very cute, very basic. It looks like a lot of people are doing them cropped. And then they've got the hip slash pockets. Okay, let's see, what's next? The BobPants. Okay, I know about these. This is Style Arc, right? Who submitted these BobPants? This is from Susie. She has concerns about the crotch. So this pair of pants, I have heard of these. I've heard of Style Arc. I have not sewn any Style Arc patterns. I'd like to because I've heard their instructions are fairly non-existent. As one person said, I can't even criticize them because there's nothing there to criticize because there's nothing there. So I thought that was like, oh, okay. I think I'd like to sew some of the Style Arc. I'm up for the challenge of that. The distinguishing factor of these is the way they make you look bow-legged. It's kind of like the style of it, kind of like gauchos when I was a kid, which I loved. So I think that that's kind of interesting. They look very, very casual. Like this is something I wouldn't even think you would want to consider tailoring or anything. These are just pretty much casual, fun pants. They look a little more sloppy in the last pair. What I keep seeing is this right here. You can see this kind of V of folds right here at the front crotch. I don't necessarily think that's a crotch issue. I think that that's because of the fullness and the way they're able to get this outseam to be curved. It's going to make things pull a little bit differently. So it's not necessarily a bad fit. It's just that it's going to look different on everybody. That doesn't even look like the same pants. I think some folks are going to pose so that they don't look too bow-legged because they don't think maybe that would make the pants look bad. But that is really the distinguishing factor of these pants, is that they kind of give you that kind of curve look. A lot of these aren't even looking like the pants though, but you see this fullness right here. Right here. That, I don't know what's going on here. Something's going, she made this into a jumpsuit. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's not even them. That maybe this is the jumpsuit that wrapped. We're just doing a quick overview. If I were like making these myself and I was really concerned, I'd start clicking on these. I'd start reading what they say, you know, stuff like that, because I really do kind of get into it. Again, see that fullness is right there. Not necessarily the crotch. That's like the front waist. So, all right, let's see what's next. I'm going from the bottom up. NoiceJeans. These are by Muna and Broad. And these were also submitted by Susie, and she actually had something here to say. She said, am I missing something here, or do these genuinely look great on everyone? For a plus size and rigid denim jean, I'm genuinely impressed. Okay, cool. Well, I've really wanted to make these. I don't think I'm quite in their size chart, so I haven't made anything by Muna and Broad. This is Muna and Broad. I really love their styles and what they're doing. I love that they're very everyday essential type of styles, but I haven't gotten to sew any of them. But these NoiceJeans, they look nice on everybody. She is right. Like, I've seen these. Look at that. This fits up at the waist. No weird wrinkles. Up at the waist. I mean, like, it's true. They did not take the easy road and make these a stretch denim. They faced the fitting of people and came out with a jean that fits a lot of people with a lot of curves, and they look great. I agree. I think they look really good. They look really different on everybody. You know, hers might be a little too big, but maybe she wanted them loose, you know. They look good. There's one of the founders of Muna and Broad, Layla. Yeah, they just, look at this. This is like a nice fitting jean. It's really nice. I would love to make these. I'm going to check to see if I fit in the size chart, because I would love to make these. I'm on a quest to make as many home sewing jeans patterns as possible. So I would love to make these, and I would love to support this company. So, but yeah, they look really good in my opinion. Look at hers. Hers are in like a lighter weight, trousery, maybe a stiffer linen fabric. Oh, so one's the glebe pants, and oh, it's a mashup of the glebe pants and the NoiceJeans. So this isn't actually just the NoiceJeans. That might happen when you're looking at hashtags. You kind of gotta kind of do some research. Look at those fit pretty darn good though. Fitting up at that back waist. That's a tricky area for me. Well, cool. Nice. All right. ReynoldsTop. Okay, I've made this. This is the Helen's Closet ReynoldsTop. It comes as a dress as well. And the dress is not like this. It has, it's no waist seam. It's straight down. So this top is very short. It's like right at the waist. So if you're lifting your arms a lot, you might want to make it a little longer. I think it's really cute. And I will say, I really like Helen's Closet patterns, because even though this looks very simple, there's a lot of really nice sewing details in this. So you end up with a top that you really, really like. It's very well finished, feels really nice. And if you take your time with the fitting, you're gonna love it. And so this one has a few fitting areas you have to focus on. It does have a dart, which didn't hit me where I wanted it to, so I did need to adjust that. And then you have to make sure your straps are the correct length. Don't base both straps off of one strap. You need to make sure you fit both because they can be different. Your body is asymmetrical. Now, lastly, I would say the straps sit very wide out on the shoulder so that they cover a bra if you're wearing one, and you want to make sure you get that right. So before you like attach all the facing and all that, make sure that that's not too far out for you, and I would check it, because if you have to move the strap in a little bit, great, and then you can, you know, cut it in the armhole to make it narrower if you need to. So, all right, so yeah, I really like this top. I mean, it does have some fitting things you have to focus on because it has a dart and it has the straps, and you want to make sure that you're covering up everything. You don't want your armhole to be too deep or someone be able to see inside there, because there's not a lot, and sometimes the simplest things take the most attention, and that I can't stress that enough. So she put buttons on the front of hers, and she did too. Very cute. I love the gingham. I would love to do a gingham one. That's really cute. Look at with her polka dot skirt. But you can see like this right here, see how there's a little bit of, like on this might be a before and after picture. Let's see. Yeah, she did do an armhole adjustment. I had to do this too. You see how closer fitting this is, and this one is swinging out a little more. You have to make sure of these things. All right, cool. Let's see what's next. Oh, this might be our last one. Let's see here. Yeah. So this is the TalvikkiSweater by Named Clothing. I think Libby submitted this. All right, so the TalvikkiSweater, I've actually seen this before. You need to use a kind of a sturdy fabric if you really want this kind of funnel neck, mock turtleneck look. If you do something softer, it's going to get floppy and a little bit sloppy, floppy and sloppy. I feel like the one time I've seen this come up in my feed, the person talked about the facing being tricky and it's showing on the outside, and they had to fiddle with it, and they had to reduce the bulk of the darts. That's what it was. They had to reduce the bulk of the darts so that the facing didn't kind of ooch out the top. And things like this. Okay, so I don't think, okay, so there is an armhole seam, but that's not a set-in sleeve. So, all right, well, here's the deal. Like, personally, I think if you're not going to have a set-in sleeve and you have this neckline here with the turtle, you have to make sure this right here, this turtleneck sits in the right spot on you, because necks can be forward and they can be backward. And I've seen this, and it is kind of a specific adjustment. Because this doesn't have a set-in sleeve, this means that this shirt can actually ride to the back, and so it's in danger of doing that even more. But maybe if you get these darts in the right spot, and some aren't smaller or need to be bigger or smaller or whatever, you're going to get it and it's going to set there and stay there. And I feel like I noticed that the neck was, if it stuck out at all, yeah, here you go, this one right here. You see how the neckline sticks out to the side? Kind of like a boat neck effect, but it's not a boat neck. So that is something that I think is part of the style of it. So I would think about that. Hers fits really close, like a turtleneck. Hard to tell in the dress form, but you can see it's like it's sets against the front of the neck and maybe the back. I don't know if I can see any back views, but it sticks out on the sides. That doesn't even look like a knit right there. Like, hers looks pretty boxy. There's not much shaping there. Yeah, so this one, if you got to do your hair after getting dressed this winter, you'll have major fuzzy staticky hair and have to crop your head out of the photos. So yeah, so it is probably kind of a tight squeeze to get through the hole. That's something to think about. And when you're picking a knit for something like this, because I'm assuming that this takes a knit, here's the thing to think about. When you put the neckline in sections or any kind of stretchy area, it stretches less. So every time you chunk it up, it can only stretch a little bit, right? So if you had a really long continuous piece, it would go, So that's one thing to think about. If you want kind of that stiffer funnel neck, I would definitely stick to something that is boardier. Even polar fleeces can sometimes be kind of boardy and sturdy, but they have the stretch. So if you're going to do like a boiled wool, beware that you need to be able to get your head through the hole. Same with fleeces and things like that. So some things could be really floppy, and we saw a few up here. Let's see. Like hers is pretty lightweight. Like hers too, this one, you know. It's still cute. It's just a different look. But these are probably really easy to get on and off as well. So if you, like me, I had a kiddo that couldn't do turtlenecks at all, panic, right? So if you're one of those people that is going to get halfway through your turtleneck and maybe have a panic attack, make sure it has a good stretch. So something to think about. All right, so that brings us to the end of the hashtags. Thanks for everyone for submitting those. That's what I do. I'm not going to be really, really harsh and judgmental on these because these are actually real people. We don't get to practice and do 15 of these sometimes to present our best efforts. I'm also not reading the description to find out maybe they made modifications. If this were me, that's what I would be doing. I would be looking at things and going, ooh, I want mine to look like this. What did this person say? Or I don't want mine to look like this. What did this person say? What kind of fabric did they use? What should I be avoiding? What are her measurements? Are they close to mine because she looks like she's about my size? Those are the things I look for when I'm looking at these, and they're really invaluable, and I'm really thankful for hashtags for a lot of my sewing. All right, so this is probably why you're really here. You want to know what my first 3 patterns are going to be when we do the review. All right, so I put every one of my patterns I own, almost all of them. I printed out my list and I cut them up. And you can see in there, I have about 130 or 40 patterns, all written on little slips of paper. I removed children's wear, bags, stuffed animals, dog coats, aprons, underwear. I think that's everything. Oh, and I removed some historical dress items from different countries and Halloween costumes. So I removed all those things. I still ended up with about 140 patterns in here. I don't mind if it's men or women. I don't care about that. But I just thought I'd stick to adult clothing since we're mostly talking and interested in fit and sizing, and we're the ones putting the effort into the garment. And they're more everyday pieces, but we can adjust that as we go. I think adding kids and underwear would be a really good thing eventually, and bags as well, because we still want to know, is it a good pattern? Does it sew together? What are the things to think about? What are the modifications we might want to do? Things like that. So, all right, without further ado, I'm going to pick 3. Should we do the, I'll show you my hand here. I'm nervous and I'm excited to see what we're going to get. I'm still going to make a video on what I'm going to make my parameters on, and that'll come out. All right, here's my first one. Oh, the making. Okay, so I have a bag in here. I'm going to take that out. Making backpack. All right. I know there are a few kind of escaped in there because it was a lot of little slips to cut apart and fold. All right, what's this? The Sierra Fleece Pullover. That's a 5 out of 4 pattern. I have not sewn that. All right, that's one. Ash Jeans. Oh, yeah. That's a good one, actually. Let's see. Ash Jeans. That's a Megan Nielsen Patterns. Okay, last one. I'm hoping for like a menswear or something. If I get more than one of the same company too, I'll toss it back in. Sophie Top. Oh, that's another 5 out of 4, so I'm going to put it back in there. I have a lot of 5 out of 4 patterns right now. All right, let's see. Oh, the Ozark Men's Vest. That is by Wardrobe by Me. I just made this. I haven't made this on camera. Well, I did actually. I recorded a how-to video for them that's not out yet. And so that'll be fun. I actually have sewn this. I've sewn the Ash Jeans. I have not sewn the Sierra Fleece Pullover, but I probably will have by the time I do my pattern review. Perfect. So we have our 3 patterns. And that's awesome. I think this is a good assortment. Jeans, fleece pullover, we got knits, jeans, and a menswear thing. Nice job. All right. Okay, so stay tuned. That'll probably be coming in January sometime. But before that, I'm going to do a little video on what I'm going to base everything on. And if you have not watched that pattern expectations video, I would really love it if you did. Let me know what you think, and then you can kind of get a feeling too of what I'm about. I really, really want some more consistency and standardization between patterns. I'm on the pattern company side and I'm on our side, but I want some changes too. And I would really like some more honesty and transparency. And I'm not going to do sugar-coated reviews, but I'm not here to roast anybody either. Like I said, I'm on everybody's side. And I can be honest, I'm not really sponsored by people, and I don't feel like I need to be nice or be swayed, because I'm in it to make all of it better for all of us. And I think that that is, once people can see how that can look, I think that that's really the way forward. So thanks for coming along on this journey with me. Thanks for watching. Consider liking, commenting, and subscribing if you would like. And I'll see you next time. Bye.